Major developments in a case that CNN has been digging into for more than 6 months now. A U.S. attorney announced that he is launching a federal investigation into the death of 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson. Johnson was found dead inside a rolled-up gym mat at his high school in Valdosta, Georgia in January. Officials said Johnson suffocated after falling into the gym mat while reaching for a shoe. But his parents have long believed that he was murdered. Back now with me, criminal defense attorneys Pate and Danielle Moss. So, Paige, are federal investigators involved here because they see that the investigation was not done thoroughly? Or was there something that was gathered that they looked at differently, some type of evidence and they just saw through a different lens and said, you know what, this now reaches the level of our involvement?
I think that's it. You know, it's very unusual for the federal authorities to step in and simply review a state investigation. There has to be a reason for it. And I think what we heard from the family retaining their own medical examiner, their own pathologist, to look at the body again, and his report finding blunt force trauma is inconsistent with what the GBI expert said. So that's enough for
suffocation. That's a big difference.
It's
and
a huge
that's really
difference.
hard, I think, even for the layman to say, how do you confuse blunt force trauma as a possible cause of death with suffocation? I mean, isn't there going to be, well, the body in and of itself will be in a different condition. You might see some evidence of a blow versus suffocation.
Well, pathology is science, but there's also an art to it. Different experts are going to have different opinions. I mean, that's why in many criminal trials, you'll hear a defense expert, you'll hear a state's expert, and those witnesses won't always agree. But I think this is the feds coming in to have this third look at it and maybe an objective look at it to make a determination which one is right.
Do you worry, we're talking about 11 months now after this took place, after his body was found in this gym mat, do you worry that the evidence has been so compromised that there's no way to really conduct a thorough investigation this far out?
You know, the colder a case gets, the more difficult it becomes to investigate. But there's a lot of stuff out there they simply didn't look at. The surveillance tapes, the shoes that were found, the blood on the wall. So the FBI has a place to start. Now, where they finish, that's another question. Because the feds can't just prosecute him if they think there's been a crime. It has to be a federal crime. So we'll see where the investigation leads.
And what does your gut say? Was this bad investigation, or does this look like signs of a cover-up?
To me, it looks like a sloppy investigation until you get to the point where they open the body and there's a bunch of newspaper in there. That's uncommon. I mean, even the GBI, their medical examiners say, look, we don't do that. We put the organs back in there, send it to the funeral home. Funeral home said it wasn't us, it was the prosecutor. So that's odd.
Danielle Moss, Pate, thanks so much to both of you. Appreciate it. Thank you.